Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're going to talk about lust today. The hidden truth about lust. And I wasn't supposed to make this video, but it's a video. I made a couple of posts, and a lot of people have kind of engaged a little bit, and a lot of people are suffering with lust. But I'm going to tell you what it actually is, what lust is, what demon is behind it, how it impacts your life. Then I'm going to give you 3 ways that lust, like how lust attacks you. And then I'm going to give you a solution. Okay? A real life solution. So what is lust? Well, lust, the word lust, it means any source of pleasure or delight. Any source of pleasure or delight. So it did not say sex. It did not say anything about sexuality. But that tells me a few things. Number one, it's a process of distraction. Lust is any source of pleasure or delight. So any way possible, this demon can get you off of your track, off of your path by any source of pleasure or delight. Lust is the demon or is the sin of distraction. But lust itself is not a demon. So lust is ruled by a demon called Asmodeus. And Asmodeus, you need to learn, okay? Just because you learn about this demon doesn't mean you're going to become the demon. So the demon of Asmodeus will get you to this demon attacks you by presenting images in your mind for you to then accept. So Asmodeus cannot touch your body. Asmodeus cannot control your body, although sometimes it feels like it can. So any source of pleasure or delight. How does this demon understand what you like? What's a source of your pleasure? What's a source of your delight? Well, demons cannot read minds. Demons are not omnipresent, meaning they're not everywhere at the same time. Demons have to attack you one by one. They have to be in a line. After one is done, another one will eventually show up. Depending on your life, it might happen immediately after. So then you think that they're all attacking me at the same time. They can't. It's impossible. They're not. It's literally impossible. So when you your lust, okay, the reason how Asmodeus understands is because somewhere in your life you've professed it. You spoke about it. So I can't talk about what I want to, Kyle. You can talk about whatever you want. It's your life. You got your own free will. Okay. If God can't tell you good enough, then who am I to tell you what's good enough for you? So, lust. This Asmodeus knows what you like, what's pleasing to you, because you have spoken it in real life somewhere. You've said, I just love family time. Now you are distracted by Netflix. Oh, I just love. Now you are engaged in, binge watching soap operas. Okay. I just love, I just love being respected. Now you are arguing. Like, our arguments actually feel good. Did you know most demonic activity feels good? Okay. But you've also said somewhere in your lifetime that you like sex. You know, ooh, I like this about a woman. Ooh, I like this about a man. Ooh, I like it when they do it like this or whatever. Once you say things with your mouth, you don't understand, but it never goes unnoticed. It never goes unnoticed. And if you want to learn more about prayer, because I'm talking about prayer right now, prayer is a constant process. You're always inside of the process called prayer. And there are 7 levels of prayer. And if you want to learn about prayer, get your copy of the ebook, A Peace Called Love. I'll link it in the description. And you'll understand it a lot better. But when you profess what you love, what you like, that is the vector point of Asmodeus. Now Asmodeus understands how to distract you. Just by presenting it to you. You're going to do the work. Asmodeus just presents the image. And you have to make a decision that this image is your life. And the moment you do is the moment you act. And speech, talking is action. Talking in spirit is covenant. Okay, so you can have a covenant with demons. You can have a covenant with angels. All right, don't be mistaken. It works both ways. Now, I sincerely hope you stick to the angel side, because that demonic side, you'll find yourself in a very bad place forever. Now, and I don't want that for you. Okay, now, since lust is the sin of distraction, Asmodeus is the director of distraction. And Asmodeus makes sure that you never are on your path. Any source of pleasure or delight, it's often associated with sex, because sex is pleasing to most people. Most people actually thoroughly enjoy sex. And it gets weird when you look at it like that, but when you understand that that your lust is a distraction, you'll understand how dangerous distraction actually is and what it is. So distraction means distract. It means you are off track. You are not on track. Distract. You are distracted. You are off the track. You are off your path. So when you are, distracted, you're still growing. Okay? Let's say I'm a plant and I just sprouted, and somebody put something here. So now I'm growing like this. I'm still growing. I'm just growing in a different direction. I might not understand that I'm actually distracted. In all actuality, you don't know that you are distracted until an outside source tells you, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you talking like this? Why are you moving around like this? Why this? Why that? Why this? And then you'll understand, oh, well, maybe I'm not doing the right thing. Maybe I need to think about it differently. Distraction is so deadly because when you are off track, you are confused. The longer you grow off track, the more you have to correct. Okay? And if this seed has grown like this for so long, now you have to have a post like this. You have to have string that's pulling it. So as you grow, you kind of bend back a little bit. It's going to take some pain. It requires some time, but you'll get there. Okay? So lust, in the essence of like pornography, that is not lust. Okay? Yes, it's pleasing, but distraction happens at a very rapid rate. It's only the presentation of the image is when you are being distracted. Okay. And when you are off track, you are then a walking distraction. Okay. Distractions happen at a very, very rapid rate. So like your pornography and like all the stuff online, that's not lust. That's dealing with a different demon. And that demon is Leviathan. And Leviathan rules over pride. And pride means the love of display. It means you love displaying yourself. So the people, the men and women online who kind of lead with their sexuality, they are tempting you, yes, in essence, but in reality, they enjoy displaying themselves. That's not lust. But demons oftentimes work together. They don't often work by themselves. So Asmodeus will, will distract you right into pride. Asmodeus will often distract you right into wrath. Asmodeus will distract you right into procrastination, okay? Or, greed or gluttony, anything, okay? So it's a deadly sin is because this demon routes you, okay? This is the director here. This is the, it directs traffic. Like, hey, go this way. Hey, go this way. Hey, go this way. And now you're all the way in no man's land, and you don't understand how you got there, why you're here. Now your whole life's messed up. Your family left you. You got fired. You lost your career, and you're like, how did this happen? Okay. This should be eye-opening. Okay. Lust is not only about sex. Actually, it's very, very, very little about sex. It's a very small portion. It's about sex. It's about distraction. Okay. So the Bible says loose lips are the devil's mouthpiece. So if you cannot control your mouth, if you just want to vent endlessly and speak on what feels good because you are led by your feelings and your emotions, you are almost certainly going to be victim of Asmodeus because you're giving him the blueprint on where to direct you. How can Asmodeus direct me off of my path? You're giving him directions. You're giving him the instruction manual when you do this. Well, I can't say what I want. You say whatever you want. You are your own person. I am not doing that. You say what you want, how you want, because you want. But if you say what you want, there's consequences for that. If you verify and say only things that move the needle, only things that build on your purpose, there's consequences for that. Good consequences, okay? Consequence is not necessarily bad. It's the product, good or bad, okay? Now, lust can be overcome, but lust attacks you in 3 ways, okay? And I'm going to give you a solution, I promise you. I just needed to kind of describe it first. So lust distracts you in 3 ways. Lust, 3 ways lust attacks people. Okay, number 1, mothers. Lust distracts mothers through flattery of their children. Okay, lust attacks the mind of mothers by making them worship their own children over God and even their husband. This shows up in the form of flattery, giving them undue praise, telling their child that they are great when they have not earned it. they need to earn your praise. I know you want to encourage them. I know you want to see them grow. They're growing regardless. Now, what are you fertilizing them with? The word flatter, it means to give undue praise. Flattery leads right into narcissism. Okay? If you tell somebody long enough that they did good when they didn't earn it, they think that they're going to be the best. And they didn't earn it, or that they deserve everything. And they didn't earn it. That leads right into narcissism, and narcissism is ruled by Leviathan. So you're training your children to be demonic entities in essence, and you just wanted the best for your child. Idle lips are the devil's mouthpiece. I said that before. Okay, that flattery feels good, but it plants seed of arrogance and eventually narcissism, which is ruled by Leviathan. What starts as a delight in their children becomes a demonic distraction that shifts the family away from God's order. What you put first is what you worship. So when parents say, my children come first, God should come first. And then since God comes first, he's your ruler. He has rules, regulations. He has commands. He has commandments. He has laws. One is order. Okay. Order of the house. God, man, woman, children. And in that order, it's supposed to be like that. God, man, woman, children. When you say my child come first, you just made a covenant with a demon. Demons are all about disorder and making things disorganized. Yes, it's true. So when you put your children first, it looks like this. So let's say dinner, everybody just ate. You, your husband, and your son. Let's just say your son. And now it's family time. We're all watching TV. You just fed them. Everybody ate everything. And your son comes to you and says, Mom, I'm hungry. Or Dad, Mom, I'm hungry. And what ends up happening is the dad says, well, you just ate. Let's watch TV. Your dad's trying to preserve the bonding time between you and him. You both had a long day, and you guys are bonding on the couch. You're cuddling. Now, the mom, in this example, will pull back and allow the child to lead. Okay, you know what? It's just this one snack. It'll be real quick. That tells a child a whole bunch of things. Number one, the word of the dad means nothing. It's always negotiable. You can argue with your dad. You can dismiss what dad says. You're teaching the child you can dismiss what dad says. Number two, that the pain communicated rules in the house. So if the child communicates that he's hungry, doesn't matter what's going on, he must eat. This is creating cleverness, okay? The word clever, it means expert at seizing. So you are creating a person that is learning how to steal very well. Okay, people in prison and jail, we all think that they're stupid. They're not stupid. A lot of them are very intelligent, actually, but they just made bad decisions in life for whatever reason, and now they're trying to be corrected. But you ever wonder how drugs get in there? It's because they become clever. They are expert at stealing. Okay, they're expert thieves. And the example relating back to the child, once you put the child first and one parent is trying to establish the order and the other parent is trying to allow freedom of expression. You do what you feel, you let your emotions rule you and dictate to you, chaos occurs. Okay? The child will always rebel against order in that case. If you both are not on the same plane of order, the child will always rebel. Okay? So lust distracts mothers through children because you've communicated with your mouth that my child is my world. And it's not true. Your child is not your world. Yes, you love your child. You would not let your child go without. But your child is not first. Your child is not your world. Okay? I know it seems harsh, but just because your child's not first does not mean that the child is not going to have provision, that the child is going to be neglected. That is false. It's false. Okay? The second way lust attacks people is lust distracts fathers through false importance. Lust knows men often crave attention and admiration. Okay? Men in the house are God's representation. So if you don't say thank you, God, God is not going to provide. Okay? This is sometimes often twisted in the mind of a man. And then we start to crave attention. We start to crave admiration. And this is where Asmodeus steps in. You know, it tempts fathers to become false gods in their own home. We are not supposed to be like God. We're supposed to be we're supposed to be the representative, the head. Okay, meaning order. Okay. It tempts fathers to become false gods in their own homes, finding pleasure in being idolized by others. This counterfeit important feels like leadership, but in reality, it's pride disguised as delight. Okay, remember, pride is ruled by Leviathan and also Ashtaroth. So men end up chasing recognition rather than responsibility, which delivers them into the hands of Leviathan. Instead of serving their household in humility, they serve their own ego. It's true. I know you guys thought I was only going to talk about moms. I'm also talking about fathers too. So next, the third way lust attacks people is lust distracts the gifted by isolating them. Okay, gifted people, the chosen ones, business owners, salon owners, barbershops, CEOs, CFOs, directors, executives, pastors are especially vulnerable to lust because it tricks them into believing they are introverts who only enjoy being alone. Okay, if you have a spiritual gift at all, you're not designed to be alone. Why would God gift you for you then not to gift them? I will bless you so that you can bless others. Okay. If you are a healer, how are you healing anybody if you're alone? Okay. If you are an empath, how are you receiving if you are alone? If you are a teacher, how are you mentoring or guiding anybody if you are alone? If you have discernment, what are you discerning if you're all alone? It doesn't make sense. So lust places the idea in their mind that isolation is safer and more pleasant. You'll hear out loud people say, I don't have friends and my circle is real small, meaning I don't hang out with, I don't like humans. I like dogs better than I like humans. You know, dogs, you can't really socialize with dogs. You just want somebody that agrees with you all the time. They say iron sharpens iron. How do you think the sharpening process feels? Do you think it's pleasant? When your husband or wife is telling you that you're doing the wrong thing? Do you really think it's pleasant? You're tripping. You're absolutely tripping. Okay? The better your friends, the more pain you'll feel, because the more that they force your growth. Lust places the idea of isolation because you've spoke it into exist, like, you've communicated that, and Asmodeus caught that. Oh, Kyle said he loves being alone, so let's put him by himself. But God said it's good for man and woman to be together, and that his chosen ones are meant to serve people. When gifted people disconnect, they end up in a cycle of isolation and loneliness. And so the false delight of being alone becomes a prison that kills their purpose and prevents them from serving their calling. I've seen it, and I've seen it again. So what's the solution? What is the solution? Well, the solution is patience. What is patience? Patience is calm endurance through misfortune. That's what patience is. But patience is a virtue. Okay, patience is a virtue. What is virtue? Well, virtue actually is an angelic being. It's one of the 9 choirs of heaven. Okay, just like there's 7 deadly sins, there's 9 choirs of heaven. Remember, God created the heavens, plural, with an S. God created the heavens and earth. Okay, heavens, plural, and earth. So there's 9 choirs of heaven, and one of those choirs is called virtue. And virtue, well, there's many other ones. Like there's principalities, there's thrones, there's seraphims, there's archangels, there's angels. Okay, all of this stuff these are the choirs of heaven. Virtue is a choir that delivers grace. Part of grace is patience. Okay. When virtue is near you or around you or in your presence, you experience patience. Okay. Patience, humility, modesty, kindness. All of that is virtue. Joy. All of that is virtue, grace. So patience, calm endurance through misfortune. When you are verifying the image that is presented to your mind, you then can understand that this image requires examination. The examination part is uncomfortable. Okay? When you have the image of Netflix, you want to binge watch Netflix all day, every day, because you opened your mouth and said, family time is it. The examination part of, is Netflix in my purpose? That's the uncomfortable part. Calm endurance through misfortune. That is patience. Okay? Calm endurance through misfortune. So patience is not waiting. When you're in line at the grocery store, you don't need patience. You just need to wait. Waiting is when you are stalling your progress with hopes of an expectation. You are expecting something at the end of that. Whether you're paying for your groceries, if you're getting $1 million, whether you are, getting a handshake from Michael Jordan. Okay? That's waiting. But patience is calm endurance of misfortune. Okay? So the examination part of the image is uncomfortable. This is where pain enters. Because, like, for example, if you are addicted to pornography, okay, and you're looking at all these vivid, like you are stuck on the illusion of the fantasy of somebody else. That's pornography. And you don't even have to watch people naked to watch pornography. You can look at somebody else's rich post, I just bought a Ferrari, and if you're 20 years old, you need to grind more, and so now you're binge watching their life, their rich life. They're 20 years old and they have $100 million to their life, to their name. That's pornography. Okay, you're fantasizing over the life of somebody else, of somebody else's pleasure. That's pornography. Okay. If you are hooked on pornography and you have the image, Asmodeus puts the image in your mind of, whether it be sexual pornography, whether it be financial pornography, whether it be traveling the world, that type of pornography, whether it be family, you just love looking at other people's families in a good state, husband, wife, kid, dogs, they're all just smiling. Oh, I just love looking at their posts. They inspire me. That's pornography. Okay. When the image is presented to you of going to look at them, what you need to do is you need to go into your examination stage. You need to examine, is this for my purpose? Is this my purpose? If it's not, then fight with all your might. Fight like you're trying to get into heaven. Okay? I used to say fight like hell. Don't fight like hell. Fight like you're trying to get into heaven. To not open up that post. Don't watch Netflix. Don't pull up that sex site. Don't look at that OnlyFans. Okay? Don't overindulge in eating. Okay? Don't do that. Patience, calm endurance of misfortune. And if you think patience is a little bit about being able to tolerate the pain. So you need to train yourself. A good way to train is fast. Okay? If your blood sugar is okay with it, okay? Sincerely, you need to be healthy to fast. Okay? Meaning, like, if you have low iron or something, look up different type of fasting. There's all types of fasting, not just like 40 days and 40 nights of no food. Okay, only water. Don't do that. Okay. But what fasting does is it trains you to tolerate more. You can tolerate more pain, and pain is part of Christ that we get to experience. How do I know this? Well, the word pain, it means the agony endured by Christ. That's what the word pain means. So when you experience pain, you get to experience part of the sacrifice Jesus did. You get to experience part of the sacrifice. So when you get to experience part of that, a very, very, very small portion, then patience becomes a whole lot easier. Okay? And if you intentionally put yourself in pain with fasting, the sacrifice is more meaningful. But when you fast, don't complain. Don't say, "Oh, I'm just so hungry right now." Don't. You just ruined your sacrifice. Okay? Well, I love you guys. This is about lust. Okay? It's about distraction. It's about your purpose. If you want to learn more about how to defeat lust, Asmodeus, consider getting the copy of the ebook, The War on Procrastination, where it's a step-by-step spiritual battle plan to defeat the 3 demons behind procrastination: Asmodeus, Leviathan, and Ashtaroth. If you want to go deeper, consider going into the mini course. It's really, really in depth. that mini course, I recommend you start with the mini course just so that you don't have to get the ebook and then the mini course. If you want to start small, get the 10-step checklist. All of that's going to be in the description below. Okay. But I have a question. Okay. Does this all make sense to you? Okay. Lust is not the sin of sex. Lust is the sin of distraction by any source of pleasure or delight caused by what you've confessed with your mouth before. Okay. And it gets real tricky because you like a lot of different things, not just sex. You like eating. You like going to the gym. You like spending money. You like arguing. You like complaining. Some people like to complain. It feels good to complain. Okay. So just be careful. All right. And I have resources for you down in the description. And if you're a high level individual, you have a business and you carry a lot of people, a lot of people look to you for guidance, and you're just simply tired and you need to return to who you really are. I'm hosting a 5-day exclusive retreat to the Denali Mountains deep in the Alaskan wilderness. It's called The Return, and it's not for everybody. It's only by application, and I'm accepting only 6 people. I know I put 5 fingers up, but my other hand is on my knee. I don't want to lift it up. So I'm only accepting 6 people. And if you are interested, it's only by application. So email me below and I'll see if you're a good fit. I'll send you the application process. Okay. Now, if you didn't know, now you know.